Hi, I'm Pete, and this is an HK Now Store unboxing. In fact, it's the largest unboxing I've ever done. And I mean it. Literally. There's the box. This is a very heavy box. It weighs probably about at least 3 or 4 kilograms. And compared to a standard 3x3, there's the size of it. This is an enormous box. What's astounding about this is that inside this box there's only one puzzle. Well, let's get to it then. So I ordered this about a week and a half ago, which getting to me from overseas is quite impressive. But even more so because it was over the holidays. So some of that time, nothing happened with my order. So really, this only took a few days to get to me. I'm really impressed. Used a system called EMS, and that actually came through Canada Post. So I picked this up at the post office. So here we go. I got the box open. I sharpened my knife just for this occasion. Hopefully, I won't need that again. So what did I get? Okay, well, very well packaged. I got some bubble wrap. Okay, that bubble wrap's pretty well flattened. And let's see. I don't even know if I got this open in the right direction. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's one thing. Okay, so then there's something else in the box here too. I'll put that on top. And there may be some paperwork in here. I'm just going to take a look. And I ordered this from HK Now Store, but I didn't actually expect it to come directly from HK Now Store, and I suspect it didn't. I think this may have come right from the manufacturer. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, so some paperwork, and it just basically some details of my order. Okay, well, we have one bubble wrapped puzzle and another extra box. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Oh, I'm going to need my knife again, I think. Maybe not. Okay. Alright, this is absolutely awesome. I'm just so thrilled. This is one puzzle. Okay. Now. Okay. And the puzzle comes in a nice box. Has a carrying handle. Whoa. And there we go. So, what did I get? This is the YuXin 17x17 magic cube. That's right. I went ahead and got the 17 layer cube. At the time I'm making this video, this is the largest mass-produced cube that you can get. 17x17. Before that, it was the 13x13, and before that was the 11x11. So that's where we're at. So it comes in this really nice little box with a carrying case. It's very heavy. I don't know exactly. I think it's 3 kilograms. It certainly feels like it. It feels actually like it might be even more. So let's have a look. So it's all, so it says, there's Chinese writing here, and then it says Huang Long, I think. I don't know if I said that right. 17x17 magic cube. And then, okay, so then there's some more Chinese writing there. Okay, and then it says create for record breaking. Okay, well, I'm not sure. This is already, the fact that this exists is record breaking. Okay, so on the side of the box is Kevin Hayes, and it actually has some information here. you can go to the website, I guess, and see a little bit, or the WCA website. Oh, Cube World Record. Okay. Apparently he's recently actually solved one of these 17 by 17. It's a little 3 hours and something. 3:12, 3:15. Anyway, it's a lot faster than I could do. So there he is on a box. Okay, and so there's this is just a picture. It's not not an actual window. Okay, very nice graphics on there. And then it shows her different stickerless puzzles. Okay, so and then some more details. YuXin Science and Educational Toys Co. Limited, and then supervised by YuXin International Group. Okay, so that's the company behind this, YuXin. And let's see, we got the top, so you get the nice carrying handle up there. Patented product, counterfeiting not allowed. Okay. And what do we got on the bottom? Anything? Oh, here's the data plate. So there's a couple QM codes there that you could go look at, and then all sorts of details. Obviously, no babies, 0 to 3. I mean, really, 0 to 3. You know, there's a lot of small parts. It's very heavy, so even if like they dropped it on themselves, it would not be good. So definitely no babies. Now, oh, okay, and it's got in different languages. Huh, that's kind of interesting. Okay, well, I guess that's it. So now I've sort of broken with my normal practice of getting stickered puzzles. This was offered first in stickerless, and you know what? That's what I got. Now I just show you the box was kind of already mangled just a little wee bit, and as you know, I don't collect boxes anyway. Boy, I might need a. Oop, and there we go. So the box is just bit the dust anyway. Okay, wow. So this is the 17 by 17 by 17 stickerless. So the reason I went with stickerless, I saw another unboxing video by Red KB, and it really convinced me that the stickerless was what I would like to get. One of the issues, this is a really big, really heavy puzzle. It's pillowed, very slightly pillowed, and the weight of the puzzle tends to sit right on the center one or two pieces. And I've had this problem with my 13 by 13, which is a smaller and lighter puzzle, of that center sticker getting mangled. So I just, once I saw his video and I saw how good the stickerless looked, I thought, well, I can deal with that. So that's what I got. So this is it. This is the 17 by 17 by 17 YuXin puzzle. Okay, wow, that is a big puzzle. Now I put a little cloth underneath the puzzle because it is so heavy, and I think it'll keep it a bit more stable on my on the hard wooden desk here. Well, I think now I'm going to show you the turning, but what I really want to do just first is do a size comparison. This is the MoYu 13 by 13 by 13. It was the largest mass-produced puzzle before the YuXin 17 by 17, and you can really see just what a huge difference in size there is between the two puzzles, and of course the weight. I can still hold the 13 by 13 in one hand. I can fit my hand on it to turn the faces. That all goes out the window with this beast. Right? There's definitely, you know, I can hold it in one hand, but certainly can't just grab it by one face. It is really, really impressive. Now, YuXin did create the 11 by 11, and I know some people think poorly of this puzzle, but I've always had you know, I guess I must have had good luck with this puzzle because I really enjoyed it, and it turns well. But look at the difference. That's their previous record holding puzzle, the 11 by 11. It's quite a difference in size. And of course, this sort of comparison wouldn't be complete if we didn't compare it to a regular 3 by 3 puzzle. So this is a funds puzzle, 3 by 3, and you can see the absolutely massive difference. It's really, yeah, this is one of the things about the puzzle. I think a lot of people say, why? Just the fact that you have to smile when you do that kind of comparison, I think. All right, well, let's try some turns here. Obviously I've read some good things about it, so I am looking for some good turning. Let's have a look here. Wow, look at that. Okay, so that's the top layer. And then, well, we see I didn't hold the second layer very well. There you go. There's the top layer. There's 2 layers. Wow, that is just something. Okay, so here goes 3 layers. Okay, really, really nice. And you know what? Given the the size of this puzzle, obviously you would hope that it would turn well. It would be very difficult to solve if it didn't turn well. But wow, that is just something else. Absolutely incredible. Now these layers are really, really super thin. I don't know if I can. I'll see if I can get this close to the camera here and show you just how super thin those layers are. But the pieces seem to be quite long. Okay, so I think that's, you know, they go quite a ways into the puzzle, so that there's very little for it to catch on. Yeah, that's just something. Look at that. Okay, so I think with that level of turning, I think it's going to be fairly easy to solve. So if I wanted to turn the bottom layers like this, I think that the right answer for such a big puzzle is to turn it over. It could probably turn, let's have a look. Let's see. Yeah, it turns fine with the lower layers here. Yeah, they turn. It takes a bit more force to do it, to get it started, because there's just so much weight pressing down on the puzzle, but it certainly works just fine. And now, one of the other things you have to do quite a bit for big cubes is you have to move single slices. There's quite a few algorithms where you have to move a single slice. And most of the algorithms I know, you move the slice towards you. I think in this case you would probably just have to turn it on its side and just try to move it that way. I think, anyway. I'm not really sure. Okay, so oops, I'm doing the wrong thing here. I'm over excited here. This is just something. I'm really stunned. Really stunned to have this puzzle. Okay, so there's a slice, and that's a little awkward. So let me see if, because I think I've just moved the puzzle onto the side. So let me just try moving a slice this way, sort of in the middle of the puzzle here. Okay, so get everything squared up. Okay, and yeah, see, these slices are pretty thin, so that's okay. So there you go. So it's moving. Now, one of the things I notice here about this puzzle is, some of the other people who've unboxed it said it was very greasy. I really didn't notice a lot of greasiness on a puzzle. There is a little bit of lube on the, I can see a little bit of lube on the layers, but it seems that maybe they dialed back quite a bit on the lube here. Let's see if I can get a middle layer to move here. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, really, there's no problem. No problem at all moving that, Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of finesse, and I think this is going to be a lap solve puzzle where you put it in your lap and maybe turn it on its side to be able to manipulate it exactly the same way as I do the 13 by 13 now. But yeah, this is just I'm really I don't even have words to express my my satisfaction with this. This is really something. I'm gonna, I'll do a checkerboard. It might take a little while, but one of the things I want to ask, I've got some questions. Viewer feedback is important and interaction is important here. So I do have a couple of questions I want to pose to you, and I'd ask my viewers to answer. Let me know what you think in the comments. So just basically answer the question in the comments. So my first question is, if you had the money, so just assume you had the price of this, and you could spend it on puzzles, would you buy one of these? I mean, is that something that you would consider? Or would you rather get something else, a box of other puzzles or some other puzzle, something like that? Okay, so that was my first question. Alright, so just let me know in the comments if you had the money, so the money's not an object, not a not a objection, would you buy such a big puzzle? Okay. Yeah, so it would take a little bit of time here to do a checkerboard. Now, one of the things I sort of see here as I'm turning the layers, and I hopefully I'm not messing this up. You'll notice that the pieces will separate a little bit. It is a bit, I think it's a little bit of a squishy puzzle. I've seen that in some of the unboxing videos, but this isn't really a problem. It's designed this way. Okay, and I don't know if I can show this to you, but the pieces will pull apart. As they're turning, the pieces do pull apart. But if you look inside there, the pieces are very, very deep, and they have these very wide wings on them. So even though the pieces pull apart, they won't actually pull out, okay, because of the way the puzzle's designed. So it basically is designed to kind of flex a little bit, and you can see this as I turn the layers, that some of the pieces kind of spread apart if I'm not holding it like really tight like that. So it's not a problem at all. It's just the way the puzzle moves. Now, you don't see that quite so much on some of the videos where they've sped up the turning, right? It is there, but it's much harder to see because they kind of they want to do the some of the turning and sort of sped up to make it less boring. All right, where are we? Okay, what you might be seeing here is a partial scramble. All right, okay, I think I don't know if I got this or not. Fortunately, making a checkerboard is one of the least risky things. Now, I think you've seen here probably one of the kind of one of the compromises you might have to make as you're working with such a big puzzle is that if you want to turn these bottom layers, you really need to flip the puzzle upside down. It'll work a lot better. Okay, so now I've checkerboarded this face here, and you can see the puzzle's kind of a little bit out of shape, but I just push everything back together and it's perfectly fine. Okay, it joins back together. So yeah, so it does flex a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that is part of the design. Okay, so the white and yellow face, that's the last one to do. And put the checkerboard here. Yeah, this is just something else. I just it's kind of hard to even think that I have this now. So as I'm just wrapping up the checkerboard here, I do have another question. So I've already asked you one question, but I do have another question. So one of the things that I like to do, I bring my puzzles to different types of puzzle gatherings. I brought them sometimes when I was at a trade show with my former employer, and I would just sort of have them there, and it was kind of a hook to get people to wander into our booth at a trade show. And I have brought some puzzles to school in the past. So the question I have for you is, would you, if you had one of these, would you bring it to school or to a puzzle gathering or to your workplace, kind of for a show and tell, to let people look at it, to let people try it? Okay, so that's my question then. So in other words, you know, you've invested in getting one of these, and you know, now are you gonna let other people look it over? You're gonna bring it to school, let your friends try it out and play with it. Okay, so that was my second question. Let me know in the comments. Okay, well, okay, that's the checkerboard. I can show you the colors. Now, in the camera, it's probably not quite as vibrant as it is in real life, but it's not super high contrast, the difference. So the colors are kind of muted, but certainly playable. Definitely playable. The difference between the yellow, yeah, so the yellow is fairly bright. It's not, at least my preview of the camera, it's really not showing as being super bright, but it is. The red is a more an orangey red. So yeah, it's actually given a real false impression of the contrast. It is quite a bit of contrast between the orange and the red. Having said that, though, the red is a bit of an orangey red. Or maybe the orange is a reddish orange. Does that make any sense? So, but it's fine. There's absolutely no problem with being able to tell the difference between one color and another. Definitely. So yeah, that is just, I'm really I'm speechless. That's what I am, speechless. Okay, I'm I'm almost finished gushing about this puzzle. The next thing I'm going to do, though, is show you something else, which is kind of important, because besides the puzzle that came in the box, we also got this little box here. And what's in this little box is kind of interesting to me. Okay, so let's take a look here. Okay, so what do we have? Well, we have some centers. Look at that. We have some centers. Alright, we have a lot of centers, so not just one. Oops, here, let me just, I'll put those so you can see them a little better. So yeah, so this is one of the centers. So if you were to drop your puzzle, chances are something like this would break, right? Because this is all the mass of the puzzle squishing down on it. Might break something like that. But look at this. They also have, that's a core of a puzzle. So they actually give you a spare core in this package. So it looks like they give you 2 of all the centers, a spare core. And then, okay, so that box is empty, but there's a little baggie. Okay, and what do they give you in the little baggie? There's springs in there. There's really long, long screws. Whoop, long screws. There's all sorts of little caps. Now, there are center caps. There's long square ones. That's a center cap right there, and they're very, very tiny, these center caps. These center caps seem to be staying on pretty well, but the ones on my 13x13, they do creep out, and I have to push them in every once in a while. They kind of scare me a little bit. There are also other types of caps here. It's a different type of cap, and I think it's for some of the pieces in the middle. I'm not quite sure how it works, but I think some of these pieces are 2-piece, and they sort of have a cap plug into them. So, and then these big rectangles, no, they're not even rectangles. They're yeah, I don't know. Anyway, they're kind of big chunks of plastic. Anyway, what they are the pieces for the corners. So they're giving you pieces for the corners. So again, if you were to drop this, then you have a baggie of parts. So now that adds an interesting dimension, in my mind anyway, to the value of this, right? You spend some money on this puzzle, you get it, Maybe you're afraid to take it to school or to puzzle gathering because your klutzy friend like me is going to drop it. But now they've given you, right? YuXin has given you all the spare parts you could possibly need. It wouldn't lessen the tragedy if someone dropped your puzzle on you, if you dropped it. But you'd certainly be able to get back up in business really fast, right? You change all the broken parts, put it all back together, and then you're back in business. So I think that's an interesting thing that they've given us. It's kind of a bit of an insurance policy for such a big puzzle. I really appreciate that. I'd really love to have a little kit of spare parts for some of these other ones, especially the 13x13. I mentioned the center caps. One of the reasons I'm reluctant to bring it out anywhere is because of those center caps. I'd be afraid to lose them. Anyway, that was a little extra in the box, and to me it really represents an extra value for the puzzle. I might not be reluctant or as reluctant to bring it out and let people play with it. But there's the other question I had just before we wrap things up here is, would you lend this out? One of the things I'm seeing on YouTube are puzzlers who are using a puzzle that they borrowed from someone, and I think that's really cool that there are puzzlers out there willing to lend out one of these, especially when it's so new, and let other puzzlers try it out. So would you lend your puzzle to someone, let them keep it for a couple weeks and just solve it? Or would you be too afraid of it getting broken or lost or misplaced or abused or something like that, right? So that's another question. Let me know in the comments what your answer to that question is. All right, well, that wraps up my YuXin 17x17x17 unboxing and initial impressions. Obviously, I'm going to scramble this thing. I'm going to solve it. I'm not 100% sure whether I want to do it on camera. It might be a little bit boring, but who knows? Maybe some people will find it interesting. So there's another thing to maybe, tell me what you think in the comments. I think if I was to do something like this, there are quite a few videos out there of people solving this sped up. I don't know that I would bother with that. I would just show a real-time solve and let people fast forward it if they want, or rewatch certain parts. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this over a very long time. I think this is gonna be a good value for me. It's not for everybody, and I know that the price, a lot of people were disappointed that it was a little bit out of reach for a lot of puzzlers. But this is the sort of thing, if it's something that you want, it might be worth saving for, or for some people it just may not represent a really good value, and they'd rather buy other puzzles with it. Anyway, that's it for my unboxing of the YuXin 17x17x17. I'll repeat the questions and let me know in the comments what your answers are. So the questions are, so if you had the money, would you buy one of these? So somehow you have the money. Would you buy this, or would you buy something else? The second question was, would you bring this to school or to a puzzle gathering? Let people look at it, maybe strangers look at it, try to play with it. And then finally, would you lend it out to someone? Okay, so those are the three questions. As always, I do appreciate your comments, so anything else you want to add, let me know in the comments, and if you have any questions. So that's it, and until next time, thanks for watching.